I want to get to an ownership thing, but I also saw this story and I had it on my show sheet. Have you read about the Tony Snell story?
I have. This is definitely, it kind of hits my heartstrings a little bit.
Does it? Because the internet, as ugly as it is, tends to find the negative part or the way to scream at somebody. Tony Snell is a 9-year NBA veteran. Tony Snell's not in the league, but he's in the G League right now trying to make his way up. And you might say, well, okay, Tony Snell, former Blazer, great. The 0.00000 stats guy that everybody passes around when somebody doesn't really perform in a game. Yeah, that Tony Snell. And it's not about being in the NBA as a player. It's so much as this, for him, is actually about medical insurance. So if he registers and he gets signed by today's the deadline for him. If he gets signed by today by a team for the rest of the year, he will be eligible for 10 years of NBA service. He has 2 young children that both have been diagnosed with autism. He is also on the spectrum. He found this out once he left Portland. His career was kind of in limbo. He had found out that he was also on the spectrum somewhat. Both of his kids, very young kids, he's got a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. He found out that they have autism. And he needs 10 years of service to qualify for the Players Association's Retirees Benefits Program.
Gotcha.
Charles Barkley went on a big rant on this yesterday on Inside the NBA on TNT of just how great the league is and how great it's been to him and many others, and how this feels like the easiest thing to do. If you're a team that's not getting talked about, you're a team that isn't very good, you're a team looking to garner goodwill and positive attention to yourself, doesn't this seem like kind of a no-brainer move? I know roster spots are fluid, and one spot is one spot, but a guy like Tony Snell that's put in the time, but some weird stipulation cites that he's just short of it, and he can't qualify for retiree medical benefits unless he gets signed today, feels like a pretty easy win for a franchise to put Tony Snell on the roster and say, yeah, Tony, you're not really going to play. You're older. You can't contribute maybe on the court so much, but be a good locker room guy. And we get the feel-good story of giving you the medical benefits by signing you to our team the rest of the season. It's interesting because Schultze, the internet, of course, they dive into Googling Tony Snell net worth and say, well, you've got millions. How about why stop complaining and just go get your own medical insurance? I don't know. It seems like something that everybody would want. And so Tony Snell is on the quest back to the NBA, not so much for his playing career, but more for medical insurance for his children.
Well, let me just say, to preface this, I hope that he gets signed by somebody today. I don't think there's any reason, that the lowly San Antonio Spurs or Portland Trailblazers, who still have a couple of 2-way roster spots. I mean, there's a way that they could make this happen. Or no, not even a 2-way. They only have 14 guys on their roster, so they could sign him to a contract, and there's a couple teams in the East that could at the bottom.
You tell me the Pistons. The Pistons have been an embarrassment to the NBA this year.
Exactly.
They went on that long losing streak. They almost set history, broke records. Nobody got fired. Nothing happened in Detroit. They just broke the losing streak.
Gave Monty $70 million. I don't think you can fire him.
Well, that's true, too. Detroit is sitting right now with 6 wins. They are 6-41. If I was Detroit, and I've evaluated what the experience has been, I'd say it's just been nothing but negativity.
Yeah.
Why would I not just do this just to have a nice PR win?
It's an easy move.
It's not going to affect any of your draft status. You're going to be number one. You're going to be the worst team in the league. Who cares? Put them on the bench. Tell them to dress in a suit every game. What does it matter? Why would you not want a PR win if you're a team like the Pistons?
Oh, no, it's an easy move, and I don't think that there's any world in which, I guess the internet sucks, but you wouldn't want somebody, rich or not, to be able to get some medical coverage. And you know what? The NBA, MLB, NFL, that medical coverage, when you get on their 10-year plan, it's pretty good.
It's good coverage.
Yeah,
yes.
And it's definitely better than I would say the average health plan for somebody. And I get it. He's rich. However, medical costs are soaring. Come on, folks. Millionaire or not, the dude has already, I get it. People are going to be like, Schultz, you're defending a guy that makes a ton of money.
We need to stop with our Google search said you have X amount of dollars, so that means you really have X amount of dollars.
Exactly. We don't actually know how much money he has. We don't know. There's so many different tax rates. Every single athlete, and yes, they make millions, but they're taxed at almost a 60% rate. So anytime you see, I'm not saying feel sorry for them. I'm just trying to say,
I know.
But no, we're going to get text bill. Oh, it's Schultz defending the rich guy. No, let me finish. I am saying that when you see an amount that, like Tony Snell, where people were Googling what his career earnings were, over $55 million. No, it's probably about 40% of that. And that's just overall time. Do you think that he still has $20-some million in his bank account? No. And when you have 2 kids with autism, you have autism yourself. There's going to be costs associated with that for your entire life.
I just think it's an easy thing for the league and teams to just say, yeah, we'll help you out. And the deadline is today. The story was written by Jake Fisher, friend of the show. Coincidentally, I tried to get him on for today to talk about the trade deadline and to bring up the fact that he wrote a good piece with Tony Snell on that. But the attention's out there, man. The story's out there. So we'll see if a team is going to do it. But it's kind of one of those, it's looming in the background of that sport.